Here are the key adjustments that every player needs to make if the Nuggets want to win a championship. The big man, Nikola Jokic. His biggest adjustment he needs to make is dominating. And when I say dominating, I mean having a dominating mindset. He needs to come into the game knowing that he is going to control the game from start to finish. This is his game. He's the best player on the court. He can score 50 if he wants to. He needs to bring that mindset into every single game and destroy every team he comes across. Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray's biggest adjustment he needs to make heading into the playoffs is IQ. Jamal Murray will have ample playing time with the starters and the bench unit. He needs to understand who he's playing with on the court at that time and how to unlock their best basketball and how to make them the most efficient player. Next, we have our small forward, Michael Porter Jr. His biggest adjustment is his confidence. I've covered this several times on this channel already. He's one of the best shooters in the league, but he just struggles with confidence when he starts off slow. He needs to adjust his mentality to understand that he is the best shooter on the court at all times. And if he brings that mentality to the playoffs, he'll average 25 a night. Next is the power forward, Aaron Gordon. His biggest adjustment needs to be his physicality. He's easily the strongest, most powerful, most athletic player on the court at all time. He needs to live in the paint, cut to the basket, get wide open dunks from Jokic passes, play bully ball, get offensive rebounds, get physical. He needs to be the bully. At shooting guard, we have Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. The biggest adjustment he needs to make is 3-and-D. What that means is he needs to fix his three ball. He's been in a shooting slump as of recently, and he needs to continue to play great defense. He is the fifth option on the offense when the starters are on the court. So he needs to just play lockdown defense and sit in the corner and take wide open threes. Coming off the bench is going to be Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown's biggest adjustment he needs to make is driving. His best games are when he's driving to the hoop, getting contact finishes and ones. So he needs to prioritize driving to the basket early. It really opens up his offense when he's able to do that. Next is Christian Braun. Christian Braun's biggest adjustment is going to be his energy. He doesn't need to change anything. He needs to stay consistent with bringing energy off the bench and great defense. Next is Peyton Watson. And I didn't expect to like this guy as much as I do. The biggest thing he can bring to the team is the same as Christian Braun. Bring energy off the bench and play great defense. We want them to play good defense, bring good energy, and run the court. Keep doing that. Next is Jeff Green. The biggest adjustment he needs to make is his leadership. He's going to be the most veteran player coming off the bench. He needs to take the young bench squad under his wing and lead them. Then we have Zeke Naji. And Zeke Naji's biggest adjustment is going to be his rebounding. He's a great player who can stretch the floor, but the bench really needs someone just to get offensive rebounds and defensive rebounds. Give that bench unit second chance points. That should be Zeke Naji's main focus and biggest adjustment. Next, we have Vlatko Čančar, and his biggest adjustment is fluidity. When I watch Vlatko play, he seems so stiff and focused on making the right plays. I want him to be focused on making the right plays, but just be smoother, be more fluid, let the game come to him instead of forcing. Next, we have Thomas Bryant. Thomas Bryant needs to adjust his control. For example, you watch him get an offensive rebound, he grabs it, jumps right up, throws it up, not even really looking at it. He needs to take that extra half a second just to understand where he's at and control. Next is Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson needs to adjust his IQ. I've seen too many times in the limited minutes that he's played with poor turnovers, bad mistakes, taking poor shots. He just needs to adjust that and make sure that he's making the right basketball play every time. And lastly, we have DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre Jordan's biggest adjustment is his leadership. You've seen throughout the year, DeAndre Jordan is a very vocal player on the sidelines. He's a great leader, and he needs to continue that. If anything, he needs to amp it up more during the playoffs. There's a lot of young players who are going to get a lot of playing time. He needs to take them under his wing and really make sure that he's coaching them, teaching them, make sure they're learning a lot and playing well. The Nuggets just made history by clinching the West for the first time ever. And I believe if they make these key adjustments, they'll make history again by winning a championship. Let me know what you think down in the comments.